Practices relating to forest conservation. Bakari Baji, the chief of Kalaji West Coast region, addressing the gathering in Chewel village in Fonyi, dilated on the benefits of restoring the forest cover through rigorous tree planting exercises, adding that for life to be sustainable venture for both humans and animals, the restoration of our forests must be a priority. For Malik Sarr, commander of the Gambia Fire Services in Kanilai, even though life will mean very less without fire, if misused can cause great havoc to our society and the environment. He urged parents to take great care of their kids who in most cases cause fire outbreaks through mismanagement of sparkling elements. And as the Hamatan wind keeps on blowing all over, Sarr advised parents to always be on the watch out and avoid keeping petrol in houses. The Regional Forestry Officer, West Coast Region, Oseinu Cham, and Babukar Baji, Senior Revenue Collector at the Gambia Revenue Authority, explained that the crusade against bushfire is not limited to bush burning, but also the cutting down of trees that really affect our natural habitat. They stressed that in as much as we depend on firewood for our daily fuel needs, we must be equally ready to plant enough to serve the carrying capacity. In Kamanga, Fonyi Jarol constituency, the outcome was different as villagers pleaded for assistance for a good water supply facility. This, they say, will significantly help their cause of stopping bushfire in their area. For GRTS News, I am Fatou Kamarakebe.
Well, you can follow that story and other GRTS programs live on our website, and that's on www.grts.gm. There you can also monitor GRTS radio live. Time now to take our first break. We'll be right back. Stay tuned in. Welcome back. The death has been announced of Guinea-Bissau's President Malang Bekai Sanyang. Sanyang died in a French hospital after a lengthy battle with an undisclosed illness. The 64-year-old former Liberation War hero led the small West African state for more than 2 years after a period of political instability. We have details of the story in this report.
Malang Bekai Sanyang was elected president of Guinea-Bissau in 2009. The former interim head of state took over the unstable West African country that has become a major transit center for cocaine from South America destined for Europe. As a former soldier, Sanyang fought against former colonial power Portugal. He was one of the high-ranking members of the African Party for the Independence of Guinea and Cape Verde. Sanyang had been hospitalized in France for several weeks, suffering from heart problems and diabetes. He died in a French hospital in Paris Monday at the age of 64.
Very sad indeed. May his soul rest in perfect peace. Attempts by the international community to get Guinea's rival political parties to agree on a suitable date for parliamentary elections are yet to bear fruit. The latest move to bring the various parties to a common understanding is led by the head of the Francophonie organization, Abdou Diouf. Despite the efforts of the former Senegalese president, the rival parties have again failed to reach a consensus. We have more in this piece.
Heads the Francophonie organization representing the French-speaking world was in Guinea-Conakry at the end of last week. Abdou Diouf tried and failed to get Guinea's government and opposition to agree on a date for parliamentary elections. The Anglican Archbishop of Guinea, Albert Gomez, has also been trying, unsuccessfully so far, to have representatives from the whole of Guinea's political spectrum to be consulted in broad-based dialogue.
We want to give dialogue the best chance possible to create the right conditions for elections that will be transparent, credible, and above all, accepted by all.
Guinea's opposition claims that the Archbishop and the official negotiating committee that he leads is partial in favor of the government's position. The opposition refuses to take any part in negotiations unless they are limited to two sides only, the government and the opposition.
If dialogue is to be efficient, it must be between two sides. This means dialogue between the government and its allies, all those who support the government's positions on one side and the opposition on the other.
A meeting last November between Guinea's President Alpha Condé and leaders of the country's main political parties was a source of hope for Guineans. Hopes that a parliamentary election will be held at last, ending a period of transition for Guinea's first democratic elections since independence. 2 months later, Guineans are still waiting.
Well, at least one person is reported dead and scores of others injured in Nigeria following renewed demonstrations all over the country. The demonstrations were sparked by government's decision to cut fuel subsidies. In Lagos, singer Fela Kuti addressed a mass gathering calling on President Goodluck Jonathan to restore the subsidies. We have details in this report.
Demonstrators have taken to the streets of the main cities in Nigeria, heeding calls for a general strike. People are furious following the doubling of petrol prices. Unions are calling for the government to reinstate the subsidies whose cancelling on January 1st resulted in the huge price hikes.
As it stands, they think that we are foolish, but we are not. We are responsible Nigerians, and we are speaking our minds. And our mind is this: they need to reverse the fuel price.
In Lagos, demonstrators blocked major thoroughfares and set fire to tires. One protester was reportedly shot and killed by police who were very present there. In the northern city of Kano, at least 30 people were injured, including 18 by gunshots during clashes. Demonstrators tried to enter the offices of the governor. In Benin in the south, a mosque was attacked. In all the demonstrations, there were signs critical of the president, asking him to reinstate the subsidies. Nigerians want to be heard.
I felt that something needs to be done, and that's why all of us come out to the doctor. We have to see people now that they are showing their grievances and they are showing that enough is enough.
In the demonstration in Lagos, singer and musician Femi Kuti, the son of famed Fela, was present. Unions have already announced they want the strike to continue, as if the recent inter-religious violence there had been put aside for the moment.
Well, time now to take another break. When we come back, we'll take a look at the weather report. We'll be right back.
GRTS Digital FM on 98.6 and 102.6, the best FM station in town, where you can capture hundreds and thousands of potential customers with a wider coverage around the country. Advertise today and get your targeted customers. For more information, call 9933263, 9957255, or 4497331 and 9906445. GRTS Digital FM.
Welcome back. Let's now take a quick look at the weather report, courtesy of the Central Forecast Office.
The Gambia is endowed with a wonderful landscape full of baobab trees. Like its Cape Point in Bakau, it is one of the most exotic sceneries in the world. The baobab tree is a symbol of resilience, wisdom, and resourcefulness. For the baobab tree provides good food in times of hunger, rents its bark for medications, and its sap for glue. In the Gambia, there is a company like the baobab tree, 100% African and purely Gambian in all aspects, in know-how, design, value, capital, and management. That company is Elton. Elton, employing hundreds of Gambians and proudly associating itself with development in the Gambia. Elton, side by side with the Gambia.
Hello, and it's a warm welcome to the weather segment. As usual, we have a quick check at today's weather followed by the forecast. Conditions of the Gambia were relatively warm and sunny. For what next? Let's take a quick check at the satellite image captured at 16:30 hours, indicating stable conditions and clear